Hello lovers, you're welcome to this very exciting episode of Finding Love. I trust you're having a very good day. I am Grace Renner. Now, Finding Love is a relationship and marriage show that instills the right foundation for marriage with the knowledge and understanding that God is the root of marriage. It is an insightful guide for anyone who is ready for the journey of marriage and desires to do it the way God has created it. Now, it's important for us to know that marriage is God's idea. As after he created Adam, he said, "It is not good for a man to be alone. Let us make him a help mate for him." And then he created Eve. Alright, so if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And then don't also forget to tap the notification bell so that you always get prompts whenever I upload a video. Okay, so subscribe, like, share, whatever you do, just support my video, and I'll be right back. You're welcome back, guys. On our previous episode of Finding Love, we started a new series called Red Flags and Character Flaws. Now, last week we defined red flags and character flaws, and we also stated the differences. So if you haven't watched that episode, please run to watch it right after this one. Okay, now today we'll be talking about red flags that should not be ignored. Now, I'll be using a scriptural reference, the story of Jacob and Laban. Now, is it Laban or Laban? Whatever you like, just choose Laban. Jacob and Laban. Now, I remember that in the story in the Bible, before Jacob even showed up, like before Jacob was born, the Bible already stated that, some flaws in Laban, where when he saw the gold bangles and things like that on his sister's hand, he came out and called, the in-laws, that were not in-laws at the time, but called them, "Oh, come, I've prepared place for you in my house," and things like that. So the Bible clearly showed us that Laban had lots of there was so many red flags tied around him. He was somewhat a gold digger, he was a deceiver, a liar, he was fake. There were so many things now, and that is where I have drawn a lot of the red flags that I'll be talking about today. Now, and I'll start by reading from the point where Jacob saw Laban's countenance and saw that there was going to be a big problem, and decided to jump or to run out of the relationship or to run away with his family. And that's what red flag is about. A lot of the times it's a sign that you should run or you should not ignore it. So I'll be reading from Genesis 31 verse 2, 20 and 21. Okay, now verse 2. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not towards him as before. 20. And Jacob stole away. To steal away means to run away. Okay, stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled, means that he ran away without telling him. And then 21. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face towards Mount Gilead, meaning that Osalo. I don't know any other way to say it. Okay, he ran away. Okay, so now, so I'm talking about red flags. Like we defined last week, red flags are signs that there is a big problem deeper than what you can see. So it's either you let go of the relationship at the point where you are, or address it, look into it. Now, so for today, I'll be talking about issues or red flags that you should address or you should not ignore. Number one, religious differences. Now, it's important that something as important as difference in religion is not taken for granted. You don't want a case whereby you get married to somebody and then your home is divided. Your children are not sure anymore whether to follow you or to follow them. They're confused. Okay, and you do not want to compromise such that when you get married to the person, you become resentful because you in the first place that wasn't really what you wanted. Okay, so as much as possible, even if you're in a relationship and your religions are different, discuss it with them. Ask them if they have any intentions to switch religions at some point. And the thing is, sometimes people just say what they want to say because they want to be married to you. Okay, so you might ask them, do you intend to switch religions at some point? And they'll say, oh yes, just because they want to marry you. but when you guys get married, the story will be different. Okay, so, and I've learned to follow people's actions and not their words. So if you ask me that, oh, I'm dating someone who is not in my religion, what do you think? I would always tell you, this is something you cannot handle, just let it go. Okay, and if you're looking at dating somebody, it's even a good time, I'm talking about this now so that you can actually just look at it and let the person go. Religious difference is a very big issue. Now I'm going to quote a scripture to back up what I'm saying. 2 Corinthians 4:16, it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with an unbeliever. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? Okay, so the Bible even says it, do not be equally yoked or unequally yoked with an unbeliever. So as much as possible, if you do not want to, now let me even say something. Now some people might say, oh, I was dating someone that I was not in the same religion with, and I converted the person. Now that's an exception. That might be your assignment, but it's not for everybody. Now, if you know somebody that is not in your religion and you feel in your heart that it is your assignment to convert the person, it's a good idea, but pray about it first and be sure that that's what God is telling you to do, so that you do not end up, while trying to change them, you end up changing or get frustrated out of the relationship. Now I'm saying this because I have a personal experience. I dated somebody that was a Muslim. Now that should have been a major red flag for me to say, no, this person is not meant for me. But I just felt, oh, okay, I'll be able to convert this person. I tried and tried and tried. It was so tiring, it was so frustrating. And guess what? We broke up for the same reason that we're not even meant to be together in the first place. Okay, religious differences. Now, and then we just put our hearts through unnecessary stress. It wasn't necessary. Okay, we would have just stayed as friends. It would have been better. It's not everybody that comes your way that you must date. Okay, so sometimes if you notice that religion is, it's a big issue. Because God is the foundation of relationship, is the foundation of marriage. So if you're dating somebody, or you're looking to date somebody and they're not in your religion, you cannot fit a square peg in a round hole. Okay, don't do what God did not send you. Don't be like me. Just let the person go, or pray about it and be sure that if that thing is telling you that it's your duty to convert the person, or your assignment, be sure that that's what God is asking you to do. Okay, number 2 red flag not to ignore: dishonesty. Now, do not enter into a relationship with someone who is not honest, who is dishonest. It will cost you so much. It's a major red flag. And if you're in a relationship with somebody who is dishonest and you have noticed it, it's not too late to address it. Okay, someone who is dishonest will lie, they will cheat, they would be disrespectful, because anything that you tolerate that is not good will keep evolving, will keep increasing. Okay, so do not be in a relationship with someone who is dishonest. Now, here are some signs to know someone who is not honest. In case you're still asking, how will I know that this person is not honest? Number 1, they will tell a lot of lies. Lies in the sense that their stories will not be consistent. They will say anything to get out of whatever trap they're in. They would lie even over unnecessary things that do not matter. Just very little things. Their words will not be consistent. Their stories will not be consistent. They will lie a lot. Number 2, they'll be emotionally unavailable. They will always have excuses why they could not call you, why they could not return your messages, or why they did not show up to the date, or why they will have to cancel. They will just not be available, and that is because they might have something else or somebody else, that they are chasing at the same time they're chasing you, or they're with you. So they will be emotionally unavailable, always making excuses for not being available. Anything that is important to you, you would make out time for it. Okay, so one of the signs to know this person is dishonest is that they will not be emotionally available. And you need to be with someone that is emotionally available when you're in a relationship. It's very important. Number 3, they do not take accountability. Now, accountability is the willingness to take responsibility for your actions. Okay, now, people who are dishonest, a lot of them make excuses for their flaws. They do not like being criticized. Every other person is the villain. They are the victim. Okay, so look out for someone like that if that's a dishonest person, because you cannot tell me that someone else is always at fault for something. You must have your own fault in that issue. Okay, so anybody that always poses themselves as the victim, and everybody else is the villain. You need to be watchful of that person. They're not being honest, so not taking accountability for your action. Number 4, fakery. Now, when people are fake, it always makes me very wary of them, because I'll be wondering in my mind, what are these people really hiding? What is it that I do not know or they're hiding from me? Like my younger brother always say, it's better for people to love you for who you are. I mean, for people to hate you for who you are than love you for who you are not. Okay, so people that are fake, they I mean, it's a major red flag. It's a major red flag. Okay, they're not being genuine to you. Now, let me share with you signs that you know a fake person. Now, number 1, fake people love to show off. They have very high opinions of themselves, and they like for everybody to notice or see how great they are. They are show-off people. Number 2, they have very unrealistic perception. Now, everything surprises them. Everything doesn't meet up to their standard. They're very unrealistic in their perception of life. Okay. Number 3, they are people pleasers. They like everybody around them to love them or to like them. They are people pleasers. They want to be noticed. They want to be liked by people. These are fake people. Okay. Number 4, they have a very hostile sense of humor. Now, they use mockery or sarcasm to boost their self-esteem. They have no problem putting other people down to make themselves go higher. There are people that they make very, very rude, nasty remarks in form of would I say joke, and for them it will make them feel better, but obviously to make the other person feel smaller. Okay. And then lastly, they are very inconsistent, meaning that their words and their actions do not match up. Okay, the words and the actions do not match up. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Someone tells you, sorry, I do not have time, I'm always busy, I don't have time to show up for dates and things like that. But you notice that they are showing up somewhere else. They have time for other things. They are being inconsistent and they're being dishonest. That's a major sign. That's a major red flag. If they have time for other things and they claim not to have time for you, it's a sign of inconsistency, words and actions not matching up. And let me give an example of a fake person, a personal example. I remember one time I was dating somebody, and the person invited me on a date and asked me to come with my elder sister. And we went somewhere to eat, and when we were sitting, there were lots of paintings all over the place. And she decided to explain the paintings, or the mind of the author, or the author is somewhat, an introvert, he's this, he's that. And then she just started to explain, and sincerely, I was so impressed. I thought maybe, this guy knows so much about paintings. So after we saw my sister off and we were going home, and I asked him, I said, oh, are you an artist? He said, no. I said, do you understand paintings? Because you really explained those paintings. And he said, oh no, I just did it to impress your sister. I'm like, what? That for me was a no-no. In fact, when I told my sister the next day that this person that I went out with didn't actually know about paintings, he just said all that he said, he didn't even know what he was saying. He just said it to impress you. The first thing she said was, no, that person is not good for you. If they can try to impress by lying and trying to feel among paintings, we could have just sat there and just eating and minded our business. Nobody would notice the paintings, or even if we did, we'll just say, it's fine, and continue what we're talking about. But he felt the need to start to talk about Aristotle and who the painting and this and that, just to impress my sister. Okay, so look out for people like that, people that say what they do not know about just to make themselves look like they are more important than they are. Number 3, disrespect. Now, disrespect is a major red flag. Some people are lucky enough to see it early in the relationship or even on their first date, and some see it as the relationship progresses. Now, examples of being disrespected even from the first date: some people, they show up late. Could be showing up late, could be not showing up at all, not even apologizing for not showing up or showing up late. It could be not returning calls or SMS. It could even be that the person is a volatile person. Just every small thing, they just switch up on you, and maybe you guys are having conversation, they just walk out the door, or just give you their back, or become somewhat violent over small issue. These are signs of disrespect. And the thing is, if you do not address it, it will keep evolving and evolving. Anything you allow, someone that is volatile can resort to hitting you, or physical abuse or verbal abuse that will cause you say words that are somewhat abusive or demeaning. Okay, so disrespect should not be ignored. When you sight it, at the very first sight of it, address it immediately. And if you've addressed it and it persists, make sure to see it as a sign to walk away. Because if you get married to someone who is already treating you that way while you're dating, guess what will happen when you guys get married? Okay. Number 4, a gold digger. Now, even as common as this is, it is a very big red flag. I mean, when the Bible started to tell us about Laban, he talked about him noticing the bangle. It was a very big detail. The Bible did not miss it. That was one of the signs that Laban, there were lots of question marks about him. They talked about how Laban cited the bangles or whatever it was that they put on Rebecca's hands, and then because of that he came out and said, "Come, my people, I have arranged my house for you." Okay, so it's a major issue. Someone not being with you for who you are, but because of what they want to get from you, what benefits they want to get from you, is a very unhealthy reason to be in a relationship. Okay, and do not be in a relationship with someone because of what you want to get from them. And if you notice, maybe you're already in a relationship and you've noticed that this person, maybe you didn't see it early, and you've noticed that this person is with you because of what they want to gain from you, it's a good time to address it. Okay, because let me list to you reasons why you shouldn't be with someone who is a gold digger. Number 1, all they're interested in is just to take. And relationships are meant to be give and take, 50-50. Okay, it's meant to be equal in the sense that you pour out whatever you have and they pour out whatever they have. Okay, it's not meant to be one-sided such that only one person is giving. You wear the person out. I'm not talking about money now, not just money. I'm talking about generally. Although being a gold digger involves material things, you wanting to get material things, but relationship doesn't only work that way. Relationship works by 2 people giving of themselves. If it's money or if it's gifts or whatever it is, making sure that you and this person are on the same page. Number 2, they will never be loyal. They will keep looking outside. Number 3, if they cannot have what it is that they have seen that they could get from you, they would walk away. Or if they cannot walk away, they'll start to feel resentful towards you because they cannot have that benefit that they were eyeing. They can no longer have it. Okay, so as much as possible, try your best not to be with somebody who is a gold digger. 4, because their hearts are not with you but in what they want to get. Number 5, when they do not get what they want, they become very disrespectful. When they do no longer need you, maybe they were eyeing your money and at some point God now blessed them, became rich, then they no longer need your money. What they start to do is they become disrespectful because whatever it was that they felt they needed from you, they have it now. Okay, so and then finally, it's an imbalanced relationship. The relationship will not be balanced. Okay, to be with somebody because they just want to get. Okay, now, so it's very, very important that when you cite this, it's a major red flag. Do not be with somebody or allow someone who does not love you or want you for the right reasons to come into your space to be in a relationship with you. So for more information on good and bad reasons to be in a relationship, you can check out my first and second video on this channel where I talked about the good reasons and the bad reasons to be in a relationship, just to guide you on reasons to be in a relationship. Now, number 5, non-alignment of vision. I've said this thing 1,000 times and I never get tired of saying it. It's important that you and your partner have visions that align. Visions like where you want to live as a couple, if you want to live in Nigeria or live abroad. Visions like what kind of life you would want to give your children, the kind of hope training you want to give your children. Discuss your visions. Things like the work of your hand, what you want to do, if they would like to continue in what they're doing or if they want to stop. Not that when you guys get married, one of them decides, oh, this is what I want to do. I mean, obviously things change, people get married and things change, but it's always important that you discuss these things. Is there a possibility of me changing my job when I get married? Am I looking at something else, or am I looking to just sit down and be a housewife or things like that? These things should never be missed out during conversations when you guys go on dates. Always discuss these things. Make sure that any sign that you guys do not have the same vision, your visions do not align, should not be taken for granted, because that is majorly what causes resentments and problems in marriages. A lot of people are in marriages that they are not happy to be in, just because they have come to realize that what they want and what their partners want is they're two worlds apart. Okay, so it's important that you discuss your vision. Finally, number 6, the ex drama syndrome. Now, do not be in a relationship with someone who hasn't really broken up with somebody else. Even if they have in mind, maybe they're already telling you that me and this person, I'm looking to break up with this person. Do not go into that relationship until they are done and you're sure that the relationship has been put to an end. Now, the thing is, if you go into a relationship with someone who hasn't fully broken up, you're already sowing the wrong seed. Okay, so as much as possible, no matter how much you love the person, make sure that they are fully done with whomever they are with. Now, another aspect of this is this: if you are with somebody and you notice that they haven't fully gotten over their ex, maybe their exes are still texting them, calling them regularly and things like that, it is also a red flag. Because when you can't mix old wine with new wine, it's not possible. I mean, there's a scripture that says you can't pour old wine into new wine skin, or pour new wine into old wine skin. Yeah, that's it. So do not if you notice that this person hasn't fully healed, also, it's not a good thing to be in a relationship with someone who has not fully recovered from a heartbreak. It's not good to be with someone who hasn't still really gotten over their ex, or hasn't fully disconnected, such that some people break up and maybe from time to time hello, but when it's a continuous thing where they're texting a lot, they're calling a lot, it's not good for you. It will make you to want to begin to compete with someone else's ex, and nobody should ever have to do that to you, or you should never have to do that to somebody else. When you break up with somebody and move into a new relationship, let the past stay in the past, and let the new enjoy whatever it is that they're having with you. Now, in conclusion, there are several ways to handle red flags. Number 1, pray. Always pray. Whenever you sight a red flag, or whatever you define as a red flag, pray and ask God to open your eyes. Ask Him to show you if it's deeper than what you can see. Number 2, you could seek advice from someone who might be able to give you advice. There are people that have gone through some stages in their lives that you are just entering. They might be able to give you solid advice. Now, number 3, be ready to move on. If you notice that this person is not right for you, don't get stuck there and say, oh no, I can't go. Follow your intuition. Move on. You would always get the right person for you. You would always get somebody better, but don't fix your foot and say, oh, maybe I can change this person or change that person, if you know that you really cannot, and then you're just trying to manage the person. Okay, so as much as possible, pray about it. Seek advice from people that might be able to advise you, and then most importantly, be ready to move on. Okay, thank you. I hope this has been very helpful. Now, please do subscribe if you have not subscribed. Press the notification bell so that you can always get alerted whenever I post a video. And then please like, subscribe, share, support my video. Thank you so much, guys. I remain Grace Renner. See you next time.